War Chief of Light is back with another epic video. Hi, my name is PBE, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Beebs. Today is a weird one. We're actually going to look back on a video that I made a while ago as a first-time Final Fantasy XIV player and go over it, see if I still agree with what I had said and maybe not. Couple things about it. One, it's old and cringy. I'm going to link it, but you've been warned. Two, it's coming to you as a level 30 sprout in A Realm Reborn. Stuff got real since then, just saying. Also, this video was in the perspective, and still kind of is, from a player who played World of Warcraft for 12 years as her pretty much only video game, as Warcraft players tend to do. So there's a lot of nuance, and that's alright, we're going to get into it. So let's go into, point by point, if I still agree, if I don't, my comments, and a couple extra little bonus points, because why not? So in the video, I start with the negative, the most negative. Mog Station. Listen, I stand by every word I said, and let me reiterate, it's shit. I'm sorry, it's bad. It is so bad, and I agree with my statement when I said, you'd think they'd want to make it easy because they want us to play the game, right? Hey, pay us, play the game. It still ain't easy, and I have since not touched it a whole lot, but I have gone back and adjusted stuff like changed credit card information and updated an address, and that shit ain't easy either. So it's still bad. It's so bad. I stand by everything I said. And yes, Battle.net is a better product for this. They are very good at getting money. Or it'd be good. My next point was the cities were very difficult to go through. And I agree and I don't. Old Dell was my starting city, and it is a bitch. It is. I'm sorry. But there's some magic to that. The magic is that it's a large, rich city, and it feels and looks like a city. So being lost kind of makes sense to the world. Also, they did fix the Aetherite system, which, night and day, thank you so much. It's better. But it's still a lot if you're a new player, especially a level 30 sprout like I was back then. I'll also admit, as you continue playing and you make it to other cities and other expansions, things got easier. Crystarium, you know where your shit is. It's much easier. You're not getting lost in Charlayan. If you do, that's on you. I'm kidding, but you know where I'm going with that. So there's certainly some improvement, but it's still a kind of negative point, and I do understand it is overwhelming for our sprouts, so keep that in the negative pile. My next point, I could go either way on. I showcased it as a negative that the game's beginning is a tutorial. It is a long-ass tutorial. And honestly, you're at level 30 and you still feel like you're in tutorial mode. Now, I also now understand better that there's a cultural difference between JRPGs and American RPGs. Remember, Final Fantasy XIV is an RPG first and MMO second. Another thing I had to grasp. There are some good points to it, though. And one of those points is in the end, you end up being a better player. Stuff gets gradually harder. New mechanics are brought in almost every single dungeon. By the end of ARR, you got a good idea what's going on, even more so since the Endwalker updates. So, exactly, you are setting players up that by the time they hit Endsinger, they know what's going on, they'll be fine. However, it's long. Like, let's not sugarcoat it, it is long. And it is a bit of a negative if you're not willing to put that time in to really get it. So in the end, I end up pretty neutral on this point. So today, I would say the only real strong negative shit part of this game is Mog Station. Yeah, you can't argue that one out of me, I'm sorry. What did I call out for good points? Let's start with the first one, audio visual. I said it in that video. Well, actually, roll it.
This is a Square Enix game. That means two things that you can almost guarantee no matter what Square Enix game you play. The visuals will be breathtaking. They will be stunning. And the audio will take you away.
Exactly. We knew it was going to be beautiful. We knew it was going to sound amazing. No doubt. And some familiar sounds. You know, we knew it was coming, all right? However, I want you to walk through Ilmeg again. Tell me that doesn't hit you in the pants. Like, oh, stunning. Charlayan? Stunning. That zone in Endwalker? And they're about to upgrade the graphics. This is shit graphics compared to what they want to do. It's beautiful. And then the audio. Little Sprout Peebs thought it was good in ARR. I want to go back and tell her, bitch, sit down. We need to teach you about Soken and who the fuck he is. What the hell? Soken, I both owe you a beer and a good severe talking to. Because just the music catches you in way. It's incredible. In the balance? What? Scream? Answers? Flow? Yeah. What other games do you know the titles to all the songs? Other than Tony Hawk, don't cheat. Still, this is the kind of audio that came out of this game. It is next level. And I'm not shitting on Warcraft's audio department at all. That's not what this is. Grizzly Hills is fantastic. It's got some beautiful music throughout the game. Final Fantasy XIV is just next level. It is what it is. Another thing that I had mentioned as a positive, and it's a massive positive for me, is the one character to rule them all. And I still believe that wholeheartedly, without a doubt. In Warcraft, if I could have played every class and gotten both Horde and Alliance's story, I would have never, ever, ever made Null. Never. And even then, there's one character with a lot of time on it, and a couple with very little. That was my style of gameplay. So coming into Final Fantasy XIV, and you can do it all, I was already sold. Like, gone. As you could see as a Sprout, I was there. Yes, ma'am, hook me up. Now that I've been through Endwalker, I've walked the end, I brought Shadow. I love my character that much more. We've been through shit together. I don't want to swap off. The only time I play an alt is with my daughter to experience it with her. And even then, if I didn't want to do that, I totally could sync everything that I do. I mean, this point is a super positive for me. There will be other players that'll be like, no, this really doesn't matter to me. I like alts, I like flavor, I like changing things up. I like a lot of Fantasia. Whatever, that's fine. This one for me was huge. The best part of that old video is watching me as a baby Sprout fall in love with the story. At level 30, in a realm reborn. You know, that story everyone tells you, hey, it's shit, play it through fast, get to Heavensward. That was me. I fell in love with that. I loved the world building. I loved the characters we were meeting. I loved where it was going. I was hook, line, and sinkered back then. To be fair, I was also the Warcraft player that actually read the quests. I know. Madness. And then I played the rest of the game. This game has some of the best storytelling in gaming history. It gave us the best video game villain in history. You know who I'm talking about, there's no doubt. It gave us questioning our existence, questioning how we deal with despair. It made us question our relationship with our friends, what we consider a friend. We fell for characters Whether they engaged us, maybe some didn't resonate with us, but we were there. We cared about what happened to them. We enjoyed some of their company, some of them not so much. Some we enjoyed their company a whole lot. And we made friends. We lost friends. Which, side note, I still haven't gotten over it. His loss is still that hard for me. I can't, and I mean, that's not unique to this game. Ysera is still a loss that I cry every time I see the cutscene. Every single time. But his loss, I cry when it's referenced. When they show the imagery. There again. I miss our cheerleader. So, storytelling, I never thought in a million years it would take me on this kind of journey. I was just happy questing with the stories that were being told in Era. There is one negative point about the storytelling. I know, wait for it. One of the things I really enjoyed, that I did mention in that video, was I liked the single story dungeons. So, Sastasha was a good example. Temterra is my favorite. I love Temterra. Temterra to me is the best dungeon there, especially the hard version, because the story is like, it's a contained story that's not MSQ, that you only really get a peppering of, and it got good. And it's really reminiscent of a D&D one-shot. So it's not quite in the MSQ, but it's good on its own. And I kind of wish there was a couple more of that. Less dungeons that are MSQ based, and a few little side shoots where it is exactly that. Just maybe some lore of the land. Listen, give me a ghost story. I fucking love me a ghost story. But you see what I mean? That stuff would be nice. Is it extra? Do they need to do it? No, but be nice. Now, there are two things that I would now add to this list as massive positive points. Number one, I don't need to know life it. You're good. Take your time. Enjoy it. You know what? You can finish the MSQ later. Or, if you finished it and you're looking for something else to do, go play another game. Or, you know what? You've seen burnt out from raiding. Take some time. Eorzea will be back whenever you want to be. That's a healthy relationship with a video game. That is a healthy way to look at things. Warcraft is not. Generally speaking, listen, I fell into that. So if you're the player that doesn't, that's really good for you. Fantastic. But I had an unhealthy relationship with Warcraft. In the 12 years that I played, I can't tell you 5 games that I played the piss out of on top of that. Warcraft is a type of no-life game because if you're not keeping up, you're behind. If you're not rating the current, well, sorry, missed out. And it's an odd feeling when you do miss out. It really does feel that way. At the end of it, when I was still playing, I stopped playing so hard into it, and I just enjoyed a lot of the side content, some of the stories and stuff like that, and that's fine. But Final Fantasy XIV repaired that relationship, and I really appreciate that. I'm able to play other stuff guilt-free. I don't feel like I missed something because I didn't do so-and-so weekly, so-and-so daily. The emissaries, every 3 days, there's 3 new ones. Oh my goodness, did you miss them? I don't have to worry about that. Number 2, the community. I ain't gonna be the one to tell you it's perfect. Nothing in this world is. Sorry, it doesn't exist. But I came from Warcraft. The bar couldn't be lower. I mean, if someone said hi instead of fuck off in a dungeon, I cannot tell you how long it's been since I had a very negative experience with a player. I've had a few, but they're so few and far between. I can tell you the instances. What happened? This isn't a contest to see which is less toxic, because we all know the answer. But just in comparison, that type of community is what I prefer. I don't want to log into a game and be yelled at for just existing in it. I like that type of style, and it is a positive to me. Even though it ain't perfect, again, there are some negative experiences. So, a year and a half later, what do I think? It's pretty obvious I've fallen in love. Like, listen, there's no doubt. I mean, I've fallen in love without a doubt. I have also healed my relationship with no life in games and with video games generally speaking, which fantastic. I've had a story that I've fallen in love with and really made me think about stuff in my own life, which, what? I've also learned to accept games for what they are. Warcraft is not a deep storytelling experience. It isn't, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It is a fast-paced, a bit of a shell story unless you decide to dig deeper or you read the external content, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's about accepting it for what it is, and if that's for you, that's okay. It's a different strokes for different folks kind of thing, and that's fine. My husband is actually the kind of guy who doesn't like Final Fantasy XIV. He's not a big story guy, so to him, not for him. And that's okay. Fine. I also want to remind people that two things can be true at the same time. Warcraft might be the type of game that you like. Blizzard is a shitty company. That's okay too. And don't forget, if a game like that brings you comfort, your comfort comes above everything else. Your mental health comes first. So I don't judge people that still play that or still choose that. Myself, I'm not ready, and that's okay too. I'm having fun in yours, yeah, so we're doing good. What was your Sprout moments, and how did that grow? Let me know in the comments section down below. A little bit of housekeeping. Typically, we stream on this channel 3 nights a week. We're going to be jumping that down to 2. And on the Wednesday, which I typically stream here, we're going to be doing that on Twitch. Twitch.tv/WarChiefPeebs, just like the channel. So the amount of streaming stays the same. The times stay the same. The variety game on Wednesday stays the same. The only thing that changes is just we're going to be doing that part on Twitch going forward. Should be fun. I can't wait to see how it all turns out. So, see you there. But, in the meantime, have a legendary night. Thanks so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye. And then Final Fantasy XIV made all their characters hot. Y'all know what you did. You made Zero a character that comes in, takes what she wants, and walks out. And all the daddies. All daddies, all day. You know what you did? Either A, all the devs in Final Fantasy XIV know what they're doing, or B, your whole art team is horny as hell. Either way, thank you.